I am Nick Shell, and if you're watching this video, which there's a good chance you are, then there's also a good chance you happen to see me perform Bob Dylan's song, It Ain't Me, Babe, from 1964. It's funny, for the last couple of weeks I've been keeping this pulled up on my phone, all the words to it, as I've been learning them and just checking and making sure. I make these videos to explain why I chose to perform the songs that I did, whether I wrote the song or not. Obviously, Bob Dylan wrote the song. A lot of other people have performed it and put their own touch on it. Johnny Cash has, which I borrowed her ending for that. The overall tone I wanted to borrow from Joan Baez. There's a black and white video of her performing that shortly after it was written by Bob Dylan. And I love all those performances, and I decided to go ahead and do my own version of that song. But why? Why did I choose that song? Perhaps it's the best musical version of a breakup song, as far as it's not you, it's me. But I think this song transcends that simple concept. It goes beyond that, as far as there are plenty of other times in life when you get to decide it's not me you're looking for somebody else for that. And for me, this song is definitely a symbol of maturing as an adult, maturing as a man. I've mentioned many times in other videos, around the age of 35 is when I really started to understand how limited I was, allowing myself to be limited because I allowed people's opinions of me, or what I thought they thought of me, or said about me, or said to me, or did to me, or whatever. I let all that affect me and hold me back. And then as I got older, as I faced more rejection and more success in life, more life experience, I realized it ain't me, babe. It's not me for most things. Most people in life will want more of you than is required, more than you really should give them. And it's very freeing to realize, wow, I get to control my own emotions. I get to decide when to be offended. I get to decide who to give that power to. I'm in control of that if I recognize that. So I want to look through some of these lyrics here from the song. First of all, one of the best lines in musical history as far as I'm concerned, the opening line, "Go away from my window, leave at your own chosen speed." That's just so hilarious to me. It's like, just go away. I don't care if you go quickly or slowly. It's up to you. You get to decide that, in the same way I'm getting to decide I don't need you in my life. People will want your time, your energy, your money. Most people don't deserve it. And for me, that's why I perform this song, because that's definitely a testament of my identity. That's the opening line on there. There's a few other ones I want to go through here, going down to the... I like in the second verse where he says, you're looking for someone who will promise never to part, someone to close his eyes for you, someone to close his heart, someone to die for you, and more. And I understand this song was used during the Vietnam times. For me, I'm a libertarian, so I'm always questioning, why are we still at war? Why are we at war? Carrying on this World War II mentality into modern day and thinking that we're still the heroes, when it could be that we're occupying the rest of the world. There's more to it behind that. And I think, I love America. I love being an American, but when you tie it into that, as far as the concept of someone who will close his eyes for you, because if it really comes down to it and we're questioning why we're still at war at the Middle East and things like that, and even Vietnam, when we really question it, it requires someone to kind of just close their eyes to the truth and what's actually happening, the actual agenda. Close your eyes to that and just focus on this distraction that I'm wanting you to pay attention to. Someone who will close his heart. Because again, if we look at, especially war from a moral point of view, we have to get behind this concept that other side, they're the bad guys, they're immoral. And we're the heroes if we kill them in the name of freedom, or whatever. That's usually what it is. It's in the name of freedom, even though it's pretty much never on our land. And I've said many times before, when it comes to the 9/11 attacks, the people who were on those planes, none of them were from countries we've actually been at war with. So I think that's interesting. The concept of closing your eyes, closing your heart, and someone who will die for you. So I think you can take that concept of a breakup, but you can also apply it to your country. You can apply it to how people will want you to give your life at some point, or your time, energy, money, whatever it is, when they don't actually deserve it and it's not actually necessary. And the final verse here, here's where I can definitely relate. And I think a lot of men my age and older start to feel disconnected from reality. The more that you realize how much control you have over your own life if you don't give it away to other people, you actually start feeling a little disconnected, like Iron Man in the opening scene of the newest Avengers movie, Endgame, where he's just kind of floating away from the rest of the universe and civilization. I'm noticing a theme that this is something men encounter once they figure out their life. Then it's like, okay, you figured it out, and now I'm fading into the background. Even today, I was at the gym. I was listening to on the stereo. They were playing Three Doors Down, the Kryptonite song. And if you look at the lyrics of that, it's largely this concept of I'm here, I'm involved in people's lives, but how connected am I really? How connected do I want to be? How connected do I feel? So this is a common thing in a lot of songs written by men. And so this final verse where he says, everything inside is made of stone. There's nothing in here moving. In any way, I'm not alone. The way I perceive that is, I don't feel alone. Even if I am alone, I don't feel alone, because ultimately I've disconnected the wiring of my heart to use emotion when it's not necessary. And I think for me, I'm speaking from personal experience, there's definitely a sign of maturity when you no longer allow yourself to be offended or people hurt your feelings and all that stuff, as I've mentioned. But if you're too good at it, you begin to get to the point where it's as if you don't feel anything. You don't feel anger, and that can often be a good thing. But what emotions can you feel? So for me, this song, it could have been none of Bob Dylan's intention when he wrote this, but I think this song been around for a long time and really connected with a lot of people, whether they took it on the breakup side, which is not for me what I'm connecting with. It's more of the identity, it's more of the existential crisis, it's more of the removal from whether it's what society's expectations or demands of me, or just individuals in my life, that why am I giving them power over my time, energy, money, emotions? They don't deserve it. We must choose who we're going to put in that circle of people that really earn those things from us, instead of giving those away freely and ultimately giving away our identity. So there you go. That is why I chose to perform the song. Man, of all the songs I've performed on my channel, especially ones that I've covered, that's definitely my favorite. It really means something to me, and I think it means a lot to a lot of other people. And you sort of get to choose your own meaning into the song and how you connect to it. And ultimately what inspired me to do this, and granted I'm familiar with Bob Dylan's music, but with my family, we were watching Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash movie, about a month or so ago. And in that movie, Johnny Cash performs that with his wife in the song. And I thought, wait, I know this song. What's this song? Well, Johnny Cash does a fast version of it, the fastest version I know of. And so then I went back and listened to the Bob Dylan version, and then I found Kesha did it, and then, like I said, Joan Baez, and all these other people. And it's like, wow, this is a song that's truly special. And it's funny because the chords are so basic too. Most of it's just G and C. I mean, the most basic chords you can play on a guitar, and as far as music theory. But to take two basic chords and a very basic strum and to bring so much emotion into it. And dude, this is a song that doesn't require a lot of music. A lot of songs, to pull them off, you need to have a basic band. You need to have drums and a bass and a guitar, maybe keyboards. This is a song when, ultimately, in my opinion, when it's done best, it's done with very minimal music. If you've seen the Kesha version of it, it's her, a piano, and a violin, I believe is all it is. Certain songs can do that. Certain songs, the vocals can actually bring so much emotion to the song that you don't need a lot of music in the background. But yet when you hear it, you feel so much more music than is actually being played. So I've had a lot of fun doing this song, and maybe I'll take a break from doing some songs for a while, because this was after I performed the last song that I wrote. Then I was like, okay, one more cover song, and then I'll kind of take a break from this. But I really enjoy this, and thank you for everybody who has been watching my songs and even watching these videos that explain why I do the songs. I appreciate you being here. Your comments belong right here.